Greetings from the homestead. I'm Paul, and this is the mess we're getting into today. The weather outside is frightful, and it's not really that delightful, so I thought we'd stay in and make some jelly. Specifically, in the pot, we have some chunked watermelon and strawberries. These are strawberries from last spring that we didn't use, that have been in the freezer, and watermelon from, I think, the summer prior that was just taking up space. So what I've done is I've stuck them in this big canning pot, and I've been slowly bringing it up to temperature all day. Unfortunately, I left them outside last night, so it was about 20 degrees and it's taking quite a while to thaw out, for the most part. But what we're going to do now is we're going to do the first step of making jelly. We're going to be making a strawberry watermelon jelly. The particular one, well, we'll get to the recipe in a little bit, but I want to get all this juiced and into the freezer first. Been doing other stuff, so please forgive the dishes. We're going to start with our juicer here. This is a KitchenAid with the juicer attachment on it. It doesn't work perfect, but it does get out all the major seeds and any kind of other stuff. We'll screen it later. If you don't have this set up, what you can do, and what I've done in the past, is if you have an immersion blender or an egg beater, you get that up to temp, not quite boiling, but hot enough. You can use like an egg beater to break up all the parts, or you can use an immersion blender to chop everything up. When you do that, you can then run it through cheesecloth or a sieve and a cheesecloth to get the juice. We're still going to use the cheesecloth. They're cheap. Find them on Amazon. Just to get clean juice, and that's what we're going to be starting with today, clean juice. I have a measuring cup here, so what I'm going to be doing, you can't see it, but the recipe I'm going to be using works on 4 cups at a time, 4, 8, 12, 16, 32, you know. So we're going to be measuring this as we go so that when I have the full batch, I know how much juice we have. I'm going to need more supplies too. I'm pretty sure I don't have enough jelly jars for the amount of jelly we're about to make. Then we're going to set this to stir. You get the idea. I'll be back. I'm going to try to get a little bit more juice out, and then I got to do some cleanup. Alright, so I don't have a cheesecloth bag. That's fine. We're going to say that's good. Now, the leftovers, as unappetizing as they look, you could actually put these in a dehydrator and make like fruit leather out of them. But it's cold. Our pigs could use that. 8 quarts. Just shy of 8 liters. Alright. That will come down significantly tomorrow. But for now, I need to get this cleaned up. This is just one day. And we're back and ready to start all over again. I did start earlier. I had some watermelon jelly that didn't set up from a couple weeks ago, so I just went ahead and redid that. But the process is going to be very similar. I'll give you a couple tips along the way. We're going to start with a 1-to-1 ratio of juice to sugar. This is not a low sugar recipe. You can probably cut a cup out here and there, but we're going to start with 8 cups of watermelon strawberry juice and 8 cups of granulated sugar. We're actually going to start with the sugar first. I'm going to see what it brings it up to on the pot and then explain why I'm starting with 8. For this part, we are going to be changing from the actual recipe a little. We're going to be using citric acid, but the recipe itself calls for lemon juice. So this should use 14 tablespoons of lemon juice, but the conversion goes 1/4 teaspoon of powdered citric acid for every 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. So if we're using 1/4, we're going 7, so we're going to use 3.5. So 3.5 teaspoons of citric acid. I'm going to set it on medium heat for now. I will turn it up once it gets warmed up, but for now we're just trying to dissolve the sugar that's in the bottom. Now we're adding citric acid because these fruits are a low acid fruit. If you have a low acid preserved item, you either need to add acid or you need to pressure can it. But you don't pressure can jelly because it will not end well. In order to increase the acid content, you have to add an acid, hence the lemon juice or citric acid, to increase the acidity so that you don't get germs and whatnot grow. If you leave it out, you make an agar, which they use in biology labs to grow bacteria. You don't want to grow bacteria. We're using shore gel for this. The spatula fell in again. There are different pectins that you can use for this. We're using the shore gel because even though we have some pomonas, we're not proficient with it enough for me to put it on camera. But something to know about shore gel that we found several years ago, things have changed with it. So if you're using shore gel, and this recipe calls for 7 ounces of shore gel. Well, 7 ounces would be 4 boxes. The problem is, I had to redo a batch because I followed the recipe, and big surprise, it didn't set. I brought it up to 220 degrees as advertised, it just didn't set. So what we found is you need to add more than what's recommended. What I'm going to try this time, 6. Now, even though I would like to do all that juice all at once, I know I can't. The reason why we have such a tall pot is because we got to get this to 220 degrees. In the process, we're going to be boiling off a lot of moisture. While in the process of that moisture boiling off, this is going to volumize, and it's going to get pretty close to the top edge of this pot before we get to that. 1 tablespoon of unsalted butter to help prevent it from foaming up as much. Now we're going to monitor this. Don't let this go, because when she starts boiling, she's going to bubble up, and you need to monitor it, or else you might have a big sticky mess all over your stove. Because we are at 216. Yeah, 216, 217. So we're just a minute or 2 away from hitting our 220 mark. Little tip when doing this: don't put it on high. You want to creep up to 220. You don't want to just get there as fast as possible. So a lot of recipes talk about putting it on medium high. If you look, I am actually just above 4, between 4 and 5. So I'm just a little bit higher than medium, but just a little bit lower than medium high. Because I'd rather sneak up to 220 instead of hit 220, blow past it, and burn the batch in the process. Alright, we're up to 220. Now to jar this up. Now if you hear in the background, I went ahead and got my hot water canner going. I'm going to leave about 1 inch of head space. Now I only brought out 14 jars, 14 half pints, because my canning pot can only handle 14 half pints. Yeah.
Was she grumpy and tired? She was tired.
Yeah, she was tired.
She sounded like it. She looked like it.
And by the time I got back to our room, she wasn't moving.
She was snoring.
She wasn't moving.
Now it's a come to your room. Just want to make sure Papa's still here with her. That's all. Okay. Well, I'll probably order a cake.
That one's warmer than the rest. Alright, now we're going to drop this in the water bath for 10 minutes. And then I will be back with the final thing on this. Alright, well, it's all done, other than, well, clean up. I've got a lot of dishes. But I've got a little over 3 dozen strawberry watermelon, 1 dozen watermelon, a little over that. And then, you know, a couple of those. I had a couple that the cap didn't pop on, so I ended up redoing those, and well, the button ended up sitting in there, so we're good. We only had, I think, 1 out of all of these, what, 57 half pints of jelly. 1's not bad. Anyhow, I'm tired. It's been a busy day. And it's near the end of the day too, so I got to go pick up my daughter from school. Other than that, hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, I'm going to go take a nap tomorrow. Greetings from the homestead. I'm Paul, and this is the mess we're getting into today, and I screwed that all up. Yes, I did. Yay.